Bonsoir. Wanted to come back and look at another activity so we can see another ER verb and look at some more adjectives, specifically colors. So the verb that we're looking at this time is the verb porter. You'll notice that it is an ER verb, so we're going to take that off and we're going to add those endings that we've learned prior. If you look at activité A à la page 63, you will see these couple of examples. Bruno porte, so we're noticing that I, which corresponds with Bruno. Bruno porte une casquette bleue. So we're going to notice that casquette is first of all feminine, une, and then it's singular. There's only one. And so we notice that in our adjective bleu, we're going to add an E to it. Why? Because casquette is feminine. It's a feminine word. So we're going to agree with the gender of the noun. But we're also going to agree with the number. There's only une. There's just one. So there's no S to be added. So we just see bleu with the B-L-E-U-E added to make it feminine. If we look at the second example, we have Madame Dupuis porte une robe bleue. So again, we see une robe, which is feminine and singular. So again, with bleu, we're going to see that E that's added to make it feminine. No S's are added because it's une robe, it's just one. And then we say et un manteau bleu. So we have un manteau this time. We have a masculine word. So we're going to notice when we look over at bleu, there is no E because that is the masculine form of bleu. So just some notes with colors. First of all, the main rule is the colors will agree with gender and number. So that means if your noun is feminine, you're going to add an E to make it feminine. The number means if there's more than one, you're going to add an S. Are there exceptions? Absolutely. And we're going to look at some of those. If you look down at the bottom here, we have three over here on the far left. Jaune, rouge, et rose. They already end in E. So when something is feminine, we're not going to add an extra E. They already have the E. So it stays the same whether masculine or feminine. If you look at the next section, I have two colors, black and blue, noir et bleu. You'll notice masculine has no E on the end, feminine does. It has that E, but it doesn't change the pronunciation. Noir, masculine, noir, feminine, the E doesn't change the sound. If you look at the next group of words, you're going to see green, gray, white, and purple. So with green, we have vert. Right? That's the masculine. But when you notice the feminine, listen to it. Verte. You're going to hear that T. Why? Because the E is there now. Same with gray. Gris, grise. You're going to hear that S. It sounds like a Z, but it's the S there that you're hearing. With white, okay, this one's a little bit different. Blanc, then we have blanche. And finally purple. Violet, violette. So you're going to hear those endings. Now this is just masculine versus feminine, right? Plural is a little bit simpler. We're just adding S's. Now there are two colors that are very particular. There are others. We won't go into all of those, but these two in particular, orange and brown. When we use orange and marron, you're not going to add E's. You're not going to add S's. They're considered invariable. That means they don't change. It doesn't matter. I can say une casquette orange and it doesn't change. I can say une casquette marron and I'm just going to have that M-A-R-R-O-N. I will not add the E. It's just going to be the marron. So those are some of the important things to note when we're doing colors. And again, this is mainly masculine, feminine. Yes, you will have to look back at your vocabulary list because you have things like des chaussures, which is plural and feminine. So if I have des chaussures bleues, then I'm going to add an E and an S because it's plural. And again, with that orange and marron, I can say des chaussures orange, and it's not going to change. Orange is still going to be the O-R-A-N-G-E, orange. And we're not going to add any E's or S's to that, just on those two colors. So if you have any questions, I know it seems a little bit confusing sometimes, but once you get the hang of it, it's not really super complicated. It's just a little bit of memorizing. So again, if it has an E, you don't need to worry about it. If it doesn't have an E, then you can add them. only changes the spelling, and then for those four, green, gray, white, and purple, it will change the pronunciation. And then orange and brown are just kind of in their own group where they don't change at all. If you have any questions, let me know. As we get further on into chapter 3, we're going to see a little bit more with this agreement with gender and number between our adjectives and our nouns. So it will get hopefully a little bit clearer as we continue to study this. But again, please let me know if you have any questions.